Καλώς ήρθατε στο Guitarspot.Gr, όπου σήμερα βρισκόμαστε στο κεντρικό κατάστημα του Νάκα στην Ναβαρίνου και Μαυρομιχάλη, μαζί με τον Jared James Nichols για το προγραμματισμένο σεμινάριο του εδώ στο κατάστημα, όπου θα έχουν την τύχη πολλοί να τον γνωρίσουν και να παίξουν και μαζί του ακόμα. Jared, welcome to Greece, my friend.
Thank you for having me.
It's great to have you here.
Yeah.
I hope you're having an amazing time. We've been waiting for you to get here. It's very good that Nakas made the arrangement with Black Star and Epiphone to have you here, because this is where people can find your signature guitar and your signature amp.
Yes, my first stop and the first time I've ever been to Greece, man. It's amazing.
It took quite a while for you to come here, but you have been on the move for a long time.
Yes, I've been on the move all year. Starting on January 14th is when I left home, and I've been touring and traveling like crazy. It's been amazing, it's been wild. I think I've been to like 24 countries now.
And you won't be home until August, and then you're off again,
yeah,
right?
Exactly. I'll be home in August to catch my breath and get some new clothes. But then I'll be back out. I got another America tour.
Right.
I got a tour going to China and Japan. What else am I doing? Going to Australia. A bunch of different stuff, man.
That's great, man.
Yeah.
I wish you the best for what's about to come, and we're very excited to be observing your career.
I love it.
How was the Acropolis? How was the Parthenon?
It was amazing. It was everything I thought it would be. There was too many people, but
Even though you went early there.
I went really early. I woke up, because usually I don't have time, but I woke up in my hotel and I made my way there. And I was like there at 9 o'clock. And it was already just a line. And I was like, oh, I felt like I was at like a theme park.
It was packed, huh?
It was packed.
That's awesome. What we would like to talk about a bit is your amazing raw rock machine, which has the necessary ingredients for heavy rock.
Yes.
And nothing else, everything else is in the fingers. And of course about your beautiful Black Star new amp.
Yes.
That you introduced both of them at the NAMM show this year, right?
Yes, yeah, I introduced these at the Winter NAMM show. On a Friday, Old Glory came out, and on Saturday, the JJN20 came out, and it was an insane feeling. It was, the 15-year-old in me was, on 10. I couldn't believe it was happening. And the feedback and what everyone was saying and the way that it sounded, everything was amazing. I remember I was playing so much and meeting so many people that I admired and influences. For instance, I was on stage, it was Peter Frampton, Billy Gibbons, Nancy Wilson, a bunch of different people, and here I am jamming with my brand new signature guitar and amp.
Were you stressed at all during that gig?
No, I just kept looking around like saying, is it really happening?
Yeah.
And the whole time at NAMM, even until now, it's like, I just keep saying to myself, is it really happening? Because we, as musicians, as people that love music, we work hard to try and just, I worked so hard to just have one person listen, and then to have all this different stuff happening, man. It's just, it's an honor, and I just feel so grateful.
Yeah, playing your music for a living is amazing.
Touring the world, I mean, it couldn't get any better.
Yeah, and you're doing it even better because you're touring the world, you're playing your music, you have your own guitar, which is, if I remember correctly, just one P90 from hell.
Yes.
In the right position as well.
Of course.
No need for a neck pickup.
We don't need it.
One tone, one volume.
Yep.
Mahogany.
All
and
mahogany.
The pickup is Seymour Duncan, right?
Yep, Seymour Duncan at USA. Simple wrap-tail bridge.
Yep.
All mahogany.
Was it something you did yourself, the wrap-tail thing?
On my original, yes.
Yes.
So this guitar is based off of my original Gibson, Old Glory, and that started its life as 68 Les Paul Custom. I ripped the neck pickup out, I ripped the toggle out, and I remember on mine, it had a tunematic, a regular tailpiece.
Right.
And I said, but I like the feeling of this one. It feels a little more raw. So I actually took a drill and drilled them out in my garage, and I couldn't believe I was doing it. Most people would think I was crazy, but I remember one of my friends, because there was holes here, He said, hey man, they made these plates on these guitars, old Bigsby guitars. And he said, they say custom made. You should get one to cover the holes. So I did, and then on my model, it's pretty cool because we have the blues power. Instead of the custom made, it says blues power.
Right.
Yeah, I love this guitar.
So you were very involved in the development of the instrument because it was actually what you had done for your own guitar, which is now in production, and this is exactly what someone can buy, right?
Exactly, this guitar. When I sent Richard at Epiphone my specs, this is the guitar they sent me, and he nailed it. It's perfect.
Yeah.
It's perfect in every way. It feels right, it plays right, it sounds right, it stays in tune. I've been playing this guitar every single day, all over the world since December 5th.
And those who know you know that you're giving it quite a beating stage.
I'm, pushing on the neck and smacking it. And I'm trying to be, kill it. But this guitar, I can not even start to say how impressed I am.
And it looks beautiful. It's very simplistic and very elegant. I just heard some guy playing the model when I came in the shop, in the Nakas shop. And it was sounding amazing, and I was like, I thought it was you. But
that's amazing. Yeah. It's really cool because any player that picks up my guitar, I think it's a guitar that you have to try because a lot of guys will see it and go, man, I really love my neck pickup. But the fact that it has this P90, the way that it's set up, it challenges each individual player to sound like themselves even more. Exactly. They have to get all the sounds out of something so simple. Right. And that kid, it's every day I see kids pick it up and guys pick it up and they say, oh man, they start playing on it, and within 30 seconds, they're sucked in, they're glued in jamming, and all of a sudden they start using their fingers, and they're using the volume and tone, and I'm just so, it's a great guitar without my name on it. Yeah. I mean, I love it, I just love it, and the fact that, I got to put my personalized touch on it, it's pretty unbelievable, man.
This is the first time I've seen the white part of the back of the headset. It looks amazing.
It's cool, right? Just a little off.
What about this guy over there?
The Black Star. Yeah. Yes, I'm so proud about this amp. So check this out. 20 watts, 212. For touring nowadays, for touring in 2019, you don't need a 100-watt full stack.
Of course you don't.
Of course you can have it. Looks cool. It's fun. But you'll never get the chance to really turn it up because, I mean, man, a few days ago I was in Switzerland and I was playing out for 10,000 people with my band, opening for Leonard Skinner. I had my 20-watt amp on 5, just enough to make it break up and sing. And I'm so proud of this amp. It's everything I want. 2 channels, and each channel has 2 different voices. It's got mismatched speakers, 2 Celestions. It has a V-type and a G12T75 on top. I know that sounds really technical, but the bottom speaker, very, very warm, very bassy. And then the top speaker, think early Van Halen. It's got that mid-range punch. And the best part about this amp is it's really, really articulate. So whether your volume's all the way up or you're down, you have the headroom to play, which I love. It's British Racing Green, and I did that as like an ode to Black Star, right?
Yeah.
Because they're the UK, British Racing Green, and it's got an effects loop, it's got reverb.
Do you use any pedals in your rig?
Not often. Yeah. Sometimes I use a fuzz or an Octavia or something, and I think that every pedal I've ever put in front of it sounds great, but for me personally, I just like to use my hands.
Yeah, I understand. This is very apparent when you're playing. When you're playing, and you're playing with a couple of companies that are very far from one another. And how did this come about? How did you end up using the Epiphone stuff and the Black Star stuff?
So check this out. I grew up in the same town as Les Paul.
Really?
I'm from the same place he is. So ever since I was a little kid, I remember seeing the shape of a Les Paul. So when I started playing, it was only natural for me to try Les Paul. And I fell in love with it. I fell in love with the customs. I think that there's something about this guitar, minus the specs, the shape, the feel, it just feels perfect. It's like, to me, it's perfect. And when I started playing, I figured out that I could play anything on this guitar, any style, and it sounded great. So that was a no-brainer. The guitar was a no-brainer. And I love Gibson, I love Epiphone. I've been playing them since I was 15, so now it's 15 years later.
Awesome.
And the Black Star started when I moved to LA. I moved to Los Angeles when I was 21. The first studio I ever went to had Black Stars. I think they were probably the first Black Stars in America. And I remember going in there and I was like, what is this amp? And I plugged it in, I played, and I was like, it's not bad. Started messing around with it. Oh, it's pretty good. First gig I had in LA. Oh man, I said to Phil at the studio, I said, hey man, can I use this amp? And he goes, yeah, of course. So the first gig I had with my trio, I had a Black Star. First tour, I had a Black Star. And then they started to take notice, like, hey man, who's this guy, you know? And it was only natural. And then last July, I was in Nashville at the Summer NAMM show.
Yep.
And I saw the guys, and I was like, hey man, they're like, how you doing? I was like, really good, really good. I was like talking about doing a guitar, and I'm on tour, and I got all this stuff happening. And I remember Ian from Black Star, one of the big guys over there, he was there, and he said, well, I think we should do an amp. 3 months later, I was touring in the UK, and I went to their office, Black Star headquarters, and we went into a room and had a big whiteboard with a marker.
Right.
And they said, it's design amp.
That must have been an amazing experience, huh?
Man, I couldn't even, like, yet again, is this really happening?
Yeah.
It was crazy. And, you know, I'm not one of those guys that plays stuff just to have it. I don't like that. You know, with this gear, it's very personal. It's very personal to me, and it means a lot. And, you know, I play this stuff.
Yeah.
And I stand beside it, and I stand behind it and say, man, this is great gear. And the amp is so versatile. And I mean, I take one with me everywhere. On the plane, everywhere. I have my amp and my guitar, the head and the guitar case.
Yep.
And it hasn't let me down yet, man. And I've been going every day for about 7 months.
They're an amazing match.
It's a great matchup.
Quick question about your right hand technique, because people are dying to know, dude. What's up with that thing you do when you pluck the string? It sounds like a pick, but it's not. But you have the chicken picking from hell. How did you develop this style of playing? I mean, it must have come from your influences.
Yeah, you know, with the technique itself, that's just something I came up with. You know, I wasn't watching anyone, or I wasn't really seeing someone play this way. I was more hearing it and then figuring out how to get the sounds with my hands. I'm left-handed, so originally I played guitar like this, but then when I flipped it and I started playing with a pick, it just didn't feel right. My natural state was without a pick, so I could feel the strings. My thumb basically always goes down. My index and my middle snap up, so I get that percussive attack.
Yes.
And for me, I just started hearing the sounds I wanted and trying to figure it out. I didn't have a teacher for that. I just did it on my own. It's kind of crazy. I just let my hand take over. I don't even sometimes know what I'm doing.
You don't notice it.
But I can say this for sure. Usually my thumb is always down and my index is up. So if I alternate pick, anyone at home, go on the side of your jeans and use your thumb down and your index up. That's the technique. And then for the rolls, 1, 2, 3, right? So I go 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, or I can go 3, 2, 1. I alternate my fingers,
which creates many different textures.
Yeah, and the thing about it is, anyone that's interested in trying to play without a pick, it's very personal, and it takes a long time to develop. But there's so many different sounds you can get with your fingers, and even with a single pickup guitar. There's so many tones inside of it. I swear. Every single day I play, I find something new. I go, wow. And it's almost like that was right in front of me. I just didn't see it. So it's like you're uncovering every day. And with my fingers, man, I'm really only using these 3, and I'm planning on starting to incorporate more. So you know, I'm always on the search for more.
Yeah. Do you have any time to practice now that you're on the road?
I try, not much.
Mm-hmm.
I used to practice like 10 hours a day.
Yeah. I can tell.
Yeah. But not much anymore, unfortunately. The thing that I'm always doing though, if I have a guitar or I don't, sometimes it's actually better, is I'm always thinking. Somewhere in my head is like a little mouse in a cage,
right,
thinking about guitar all the time. Thinking, okay, what if I did that? Or, you know, I'll be sitting on the airplane going, what about that? Or this combination.
Yeah.
And then when I do get a guitar, I try it.
Yeah. You're practically practicing that way.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, really, you're practicing. It's just I've already spent years getting the muscle, you know. So now it's like I'm putting things together in my head, and then also writing songs, you know. So that's really it.
What does the future hold for Jared James Nichols in his musical journey?
I'm gonna take over the blues power world, man. I'm gonna take it all over.
That's ambitious.
Yeah, of course.
I think you're doing the right things to do that.
I'm working on it. No, but no, man. I'm just gonna be promoting the guitar. I'm over in Europe until August 5th. I have a tour coming up with Living Color with my band,
right.
And then we do Vakken Metal Fest and all this stuff, which is crazy.
Yeah.
Because I'll be like the least metal guy there.
Yeah, you will. But your music is music that can be played in combination with many different styles, which is very interesting. I mean, you can play at the Wacken Festival. You can also play at a blues festival. You can play even at the jazz festival. Maybe.
It's great.
Yeah.
And then I'll do a tour of America, and as I was saying, China, Japan, Australia, and then I have some tours booked. I'm going to go with Joe Bonamassa on the blues cruise.
Will you be jamming?
Of course.
Oh yeah.
I've never jammed with Joe, so I'm really excited. But man, I'm just out making it happen.
You have your work cut out for you, my friend.
I know.
Last question: what's your favorite Greek word, and don't say malakas?
I'm pretty sure it's malakas. I don't know. I need to learn Greek.
Jared, thank you very much for taking the time to do this interview.
Thank you.
I know you're a very busy dude, so it means a lot to us and for the Greek fan base of yours.
Thank you.
Από το κεντρικό κατάστημα Philippos Nakas στη Ναβαρίνου και από τον Jared James Nichols. Σας ευχαριστούμε πάρα πολύ και για περισσότερες συνεντεύξεις, παρουσιάσεις μουσικού εξοπλισμού και online μαθήματα επισκεφτείτε το Guitarspot.Gr. Link.